The true achiever is on a journey with no finish line, while celebrating the milestones along the way. This is the 2021 PG National Showcase.
Hey, PG on three. 1, 2, 3, PG.
The very best 22 grads in North America.
We're at the National Showcase.
In its 21st year, the history is clear. Nearly 500 MLB alum and close to 3,000 drafted. So pause. If only for a moment, you've made it this far, and so few have before.
We're at the National Showcase, baby. Let's go.
Our time. This our time.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm certainly glad you found us, and greetings from Tropicana Field, the home of the 2021 Perfect Game National Showcase. My name is Daron Sutton. This is Perfect Game Weekly, presented by Rawlings. We've got a great show. We've got some incredible athletes that have done amazing things. Michael Gupton will teach us how to be a world-class sprinter. We'll talk with a couple of guys by the name of Jones and Crawford. Yes, they're legacies, but they're writing their own story. David Rawnsley will help break down the very best of the best at this showcase. We will also reveal the best 11U players in the country. It's Perfect Game's 11U Select Festival. But let's get started where we always do, with the warm-up. Here we go. Let's kick things off in the big leagues this week. 2008 PG alum Jacob Stallings. Over the weekend, Jacob delivered not his first, not his second, but his third walk-off hit of the year, and he did it in grand fashion. A walk-off grand slam over Mets closer Edwin Diaz. In the midst of the best season of his career thus far, Stallings also has slugged a walk-off homer against the Giants in May and lined a walk-off single to beat the Marlins on June 5th. He now has 6 career walk-off hits. Way back in 2008, PG scouts predicted Jacob to eventually find that sweet swing, saying, "Power bat to come," in his scouting reports. And don't sleep on this catcher's arm either. As a team with PG, he hit 90 on the gun as a pitcher as well. In fact, Jacob even pitched in a game for the Pirates back in 2019, throwing 1 hitless and scoreless inning in a blowout. The warm-up wouldn't be the warm-up without a stud performance from one of the younger up-and-coming perfect gamers. This past weekend, it was Branson Ashley. How about a no-hitter for the class of 23 Florida native, pitching for the FBH Angels? Ashley's fastball topped out at 87. His curve sat right between 70 and 76. Oh, and by the way, 1 month before his 16th birthday. And how about this for a pitcher's frame? He's already 6 feet tall, 216 pounds. Branson Ashley, one to watch for sure this summer. We head down to Perfect Game Nationals. That's our final stop for 2 wow performances. First up, PG class of 22, Termarr Johnson unloaded on this near 95-mile-an-hour fastball for Team Purple over the weekend. Look at him fly around the bases, by the way. Currently ranked 4th overall in the PG board, top-ranked shortstop as well. And by the way, when he isn't jogging around the bases, he's sprinting them. 6'6", 60. You can see there isn't much missing at all from this young man's game. When you go back to 2019, he was the PG 14U Player of the Year, showing no signs currently of slowing down. And speaking of speed, we wrap faster than we ever have before. NC State commit Michael Gupton shattered the PG record in the 60, 5.96. The track star, the diamond star, explains his secrets in a bit. And we'll get to that sub 660 in just a moment. By the way, this is David Rawnsley, Perfect Game's Vice President of Player Personnel. Big picture, the theme of this national.
Well, if 2021 was the year of the shortstop, I think we had 5 high school shortstops drafted in the first round. I talked to a national cross-checker yesterday. He said this is going to be the year of the high school pitcher. The high school pitching is outstanding, not only in stuff, but in consistency and off-speed pitch, the whole thing. I know Major League Baseball isn't big on high school pitchers high in the draft, but this is going to be different.
Let's start with Dylan Lesko, #1 right-handed pitcher in this class. He's a Vanderbilt commit.
Dylan Lesko has been the top pitcher in this class, pretty much for the last 3 years. Nothing changed here. He's an automaton. He brings the same stuff every time. 94, 96 strikes, best changeup in the class. improving curveball. He's got it all.
Jackson Ferris is an Ole Miss commit, up to 96 at this event, #1 left-hander in the class.
#1 left-hander. He pulled a Carl Hubble, for those who remember. He struck out five hitters in his performance, all ranked in the top 30 in the class. His fastball was completely dominant, thrown to spots, swings and misses all over the place.
Brock Porter is from Michigan. He's a Clemson commit.
Well, Brock Porter might have the best fastball in terms of velocity in this class. He was up to 97. He's been higher this spring. What really stood out is the changeup. Is a quality pitch and so polished. He throws 97, but has a quality changeup as well.
Chase Shores, an Oklahoma State commit. He's the #2 overall player in Texas.
Oh, Chase Shores was fun last night. 6'8", 240. 2 years ago, I saw him throwing 80. Now he's topping out at 97. So athletic, so big. A comp to Andrew Painter, who went 13th in this last draft to the Phillies.
Noah Schultz, the #1 player in Illinois, another Vanderbilt commit.
Another Vanderbilt commit. Noah Schultz, a 6'8" lefty. He's the spin master of this class. Comes from a mid to low 3/4 arm slot. Over 3,000 on the slider spin rate, over 2,600 on the fastball, and you know everybody in baseball likes spin right now. Noah Schultz can spin it.
Position players, Tamar Johnson. First name, really, this is a guy you could just say Tamar, #1 shortstop in the country, one of the top players. He didn't disappoint here.
Oh no, he didn't disappoint in any area. The home run he hit was one of the most loudest, violent home runs I've seen in years. But to watch Tamar play is to see that he has a huge personality. He loves the game. He talks to everybody. He's going to not only be an all-star type player, he's an all-star type leader on the field.
We'll hear from Michael Gupton here in just a bit. He's going to teach us how to fly on a baseball field. Your takeaways from the great speedster.
Well, the 5'9" speaks for himself. He also took a great batting practice. He has huge athleticism. We look at it, the sprinter, the unique achievement, but he's a baseball player. You might see him in the Olympics, but you might see him in Major League Baseball too. Maybe both, who knows?
Carl Crawford played here as a major leaguer. He's a PG alum. His son, Justin Crawford, may have made more games than anyone that came here.
Yeah, that's the most improved player in the country for us. He ran a 6.11, which would have tied the all-time record for this event if not for Michael Gupton. But that wasn't the big thing. 6'3", 175-pound left-handed hitter who had a great event with the bat. Showed power in BP, showed barrel control in the games. Huge event for Justin Crawford.
I'm biased, an Arizona guy. Gavin Turley, I want to know more. He's an Oregon State commit.
Oregon State commit. Gavin Turley, I'm gonna coin a phrase. He's got Benny tools after Benny Montgomery, the 8th pick, I believe, in this last draft. Huge tools, 6'2", 960, 97-mile-an-hour arm strength. Really, really, really athletic. And it's just getting that hitting up to where the rest of his tools are, and he can be a Benny Montgomery type of player.
Well, Montgomery going to the Rockies, but north of the Rockies is the Dakotas, where David finds our sleeper.
I always like having a sleeper. The sleeper for this year is Austin Henry from Del Rapids, South Dakota. 6'5", 215 right-hander. Was up to 92, not the big velocity numbers. Curveball, 3,200 spin rate. It was nasty, nasty. That spin rate just jumps out and passes the eye test too. So when Austin Henry gets a little more exposure, when he gets a little stronger, velocity ticks up, that curveball is going to be even nastier.
That's 3 nasties, by the way, if you were listening. 3 nasties. Janet Jackson, jealous of how often he used that word. When we come back on Perfect Game Weekly, we're going to sprint school. Michael Gupton is going to share all of his secrets of reaching a sub-660. This is the only show devoted to amateur baseball, presented by Rawlings. You're here, and you found us. Perfect Game Weekly.
Perfect game. On and off the field, it's a way of life. And now, that same passion, your passion, is represented in the brand new exclusive PG Gear and Clothing line. Designed with you in mind, the looks that you live in, whether during a sweat-soaked workout or a round of BP. Make your memories in perfect game gear. Thoughtful, comfortable, perfect for you. Visit shop.perfectgame.org.
It started with a simple idea: to break what the game knows, to evolve the standard. It's time to revolutionize defense. Printed in 4D for a breakthrough in technology. Ultra lightweight, resilient, form fit, game ready and pro tested. Designed for a revolution. Engineered for defense. The Rev 1X.
Hi, I'm four-time Gold Glove winner Charles Johnson.
And that one, a powering shot, way back, Charles Johnson, a monster home run.
And you're watching PerfectGame.tv.
From Tropicana Field, we continue on with Perfect Game Weekly presented by Rawlings. And we're about to learn, this man, Michael Gupton, really set this event on fire, folks. He ran a 5.96 60-yard dash. Will you teach us? We need to learn not only sprinting, but base stealing. Will you work with us?
Right, yes, sir. Definitely.
All right, I'm getting out of the way.
Okay.
Here's my first question, okay?
All right.
So if you're about to run the 60, and you go through showing your jersey, go
Right.
from there and just kind of explain to us mechanically what happens for you at the start of the 60.
Okay, so with sprinting, there's actually a lot of mechanics, and a lot of stuff goes into the 60 that people may not see. We're gonna break this down into three phases. So the first phase is the dry phase. So the dry phase is basically your first 15 to 30 meters. In these first 15 to 30 meters, you want to be head down, explosive, with big arms. For me and my speed, my dry phase, I'm pushing at 30 meters or 30 yards, which is basically half of the 60. So in this first 30 yards, I want to start out, boom, I want to keep my head down and my arms pumping for the first 30 yards. The first couple steps, your arms are very, very important. Basically, what I do is I like to call it a split rip. So a split rip is when you start, let's say ready, go. You wanna act like you have a watch on your lead hand and it's coming over your head. Watch over your head, and this is the split, and then ripping your other arm through into the rip. So keeping these elbows high and these first two arms very, very big. Because what this allows you to do is this allows you to get more stride length. And these first couple steps are very vital to cover as much ground as possible so you can slingshot into your top speed. And then from here, I want to shorten my arms. And what I like to think of is my fingertips cutting my leg in half, basically. So now my arms are coming into the 90-degree angle. So each stride, I should look like this, but I'm still head down in my dry phase. Now let's talk about the transition. So you come out your dry phase, boom, and you're starting to come up. So you want to start to bring your chin up slowly. You're starting to bring your chin up, and now your knees naturally start to come up and your toes become dorsiflexed. So basically, if somebody were to take a picture of you in your transition, you should look like this, nice and tall. So if we walk it all back through, we're starting, ready, go. Boom, split, big arms, rip, big arms, 30 meters, 30 yards, running, transition. Okay, starting to slowly bring my chin up, heel to knee, 90-degree angle, and then top end, nice and tall, through the finish line.
You're a track star.
I am.
Yes. How much were you prepared in part because you are an elite runner? And how much are you a better baseball player? You got to hit it,
right.
But how much are you
right.
a better baseball player because of the confidence you have with those?
It's a big relief. I just know if I can get on base, then it's lights out.
I also need to, before I wrap this, understand flexibility. Because you're strong, I can see it, you're very strong. But you know as well as I do that I think flexibility, you're gonna tell me, is a huge part of setting a number like a 5.96.
Definitely.
Expound.
Definitely. There's not a lot of ways you can get faster. You can get quicker, but there's not a lot of ways to get faster, but one of them is flexibility. The more flexible and the more you stretch, the faster you will be. And also, injury prevention. Nobody wants to get hurt.
Yeah, outstanding.
Yeah.
I'll step out, you take us to break. This is Perfect Game Weekly, by the way. This guy is amazing, but please take us to break.
More Perfect Game Weekly here at the National Showcase. at Tropicana Field.
Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida, as we welcome you back to Perfect Game Weekly, presented by Rawlings at Perfect Games National Showcase. Druw Jones is standing to my left. In the 22 class, this is the #2 outfielder in the nation. Standing to my right, Justin Crawford. He's inside the top 20 in those outfield rankings as well. We're gonna hang out, we're gonna talk. We share one thing in common, all three of us. What would you figure that is when you look at the three of us? We'll get to it in just a minute. For you, this journey of being highly ranked has kept you up at that spot, but you now are a guy in games that everyone knows about. Has it made you better to be a player that, since you were able to be ranked, has been a top 10 player? Has it made you be able to grow with that kind of pressure?
Most of the time, just kind of, you get the best competition. Everybody tries to beat you and makes the best out of everything you need to do. So you get the best of everything, and being on top teams, you get to see good arms all the time. So in that competition, you're able to advance your game and have that high profile all the time.
How was this event for you? You've been to showcases, you've been on a national stage, more and more and more. But for you, how is this event?
For more, it's more exciting to be here. I mean, to be honored and by Perfect Game to be able to come to this showcase is always a blessing. So it's fun to be out here and do all these things.
Your 60 was?
6'3",
6'3", you happy with that?
I'm more than happy with that.
Okay, 6'3", Your 60 was?
6'11".
You tied the event record, incredible. So when you found out you had tied that event record that was amazingly shattered, and we're talking about that in this very show here, and we're learning about it, but what was your reaction? How did it feel?
Oh, I was extremely excited because I've been putting in a whole bunch of work to get my 60 up, get it faster, and for that to finally show that it paid off, it was really just extremely happy for me, and I was really just blessed to be here too. It was awesome.
Do you recall at the 14U West Showcase, it was in Compton in 2018, do you recall what you ran then?
I believe it was a 7.5.
So one goes from a 7.5, this is crazy, right? A 7.5 to a 6.11. How does one train to get faster? What did you do besides getting bigger and stronger? What did you do?
Really, for me, it was just running sprints, a whole lot of sprints, and then also running hills. I would go to the park nearby my house, and I would just run hours of just running hills. And I think over time, that really just got my legs stronger and just built my speed up.
And you have come from kind of out of nowhere, different than his journey the entire time, to move inside that top 20 spot as an outfielder. How proud are you of your work, but how much further do you have to go?
Extremely proud to be here. I mean, it's awesome to be able just to be ranked, but I definitely think I still have way more to go and also get ranked higher.
We're going to get to what his dad did in this building because it's very interesting. These gentlemen, by the way, are ball players' kids. I'm a ball player's kid. My late father obviously playing, and in the Hall of Fame, Daron Sutton. Your dad, Andrew Jones. For you and the impact, you remember a little bit of his career. You have video on your phone just like anybody else, but let's talk man-to-man relationship. How much do you guys talk baseball? How much has he helped you?
Most of the time, we don't really talk about baseball a lot. Most of the time, he tries to just stay away from that because we both don't talk about it as much. But mainly just being bro to bro all the time and just doing everything. And then just with baseball-wise, just tells me to come out here and play hard and have fun.
Okay, so man stuff. He's a parent, he's a dad. Right. He's not as much worried about the baseball part. Your dad, Carl Crawford, this was his ballpark. Yeah. They made the wall short over there so he could rob home runs. So your father, his career lasting a little bit longer in your life than his, up until 2016. How do you guys relate to baseball together?
We talk about it all the time, really just not too much though, but we like to really just talk about just the little things of the game on how to get better and just really just having a high IQ of the game. And it's really it's a lot of fun being able to be back out here where he played, and it's really awesome.
Outstanding stuff, incredible stuff. So I have these guys here, they have their bats. I'm gonna let you go first. The pitcher's out there, but I'll get out of the way. I'm not gonna waste the chance to just give me one good tip. I don't care if it's your hands, I don't care if it's your feet. Give me one good tip when you step into the box that works for you. We'll move. You ready? Talk to us.
you know, mainly just make sure I have a good base, so always in my legs, like make sure I got all this tension back here, and make sure your front leg is also firm too, so almost like you're doing a squat, and then mainly just have your hands always prepped and ready to go, and then when you get here, just snap it real quick, and then make sure you get deep into it, and then make sure your front leg is also firm, and then just turn with your body.
Outstanding stuff. Swap spots. Give me one good tip.
My main thing is I always just try to be as much as relaxed as possible. So I just stay here, open my hands a little bit, and then as the pitcher starts to get ready to deliver the ball, I get ready to just start getting my rhythm. And as he goes, I'll just make sure I stay on my backside and then fire.
Hey, hang on. When we come back on Perfect Game Weekly, we're going to get to know the very best 11U players in the nation. They want to be these guys, but for now, we're going to reveal on this show, the Perfect Game Select Festival, 11U roster. You're a 14U guy, right?
Yes, sir.
It goes down to 11U now.
I know, it's crazy.
It is crazy. We'll tell you the roster when we come back. Here at the National Showcase, this is Perfect Game Weekly, presented by Rawlings.
Perfect game. On and off the field, it's a way of life. And now, that same passion, your passion, is represented in the brand new exclusive PG gear and clothing line. Designed with you in mind, the looks that you live in, whether during a sweat-soaked workout or a round of BP. Make your memories in perfect game gear. Thoughtful, comfortable, perfect for you. Visit shop.perfectgame.org.
It started with a simple idea: to break what the game knows, to evolve the standard. It's time to revolutionize defense. Printed in 4D for a breakthrough in technology. Ultra lightweight, resilient, form fit, game ready and pro tested. Designed for a revolution, engineered for defense. The Rev 1X.
Hi, I'm Tom Flash Gordon, three-time All-Star and World Series champion.
Bedlam at Fenway with the 0-2 upcoming. He struck him out! What an ending of the ball game! Gordon struck out the side of the ninth.
You're watching PerfectGame.tv.
Perfect Game Weekly, presented by Rawlings, continues at the Trop, and we're really excited as we bring you back inside to reveal the first ever Perfect Game 11U Select Festival roster. Now, you can think back 5 or 6 years with the birth of this event at the 14U age group, but this is the inaugural, the first time this great game has gone down to this 11U age group. Let's share some of these names with you and remind you that when you think about the roster, 13 states are represented, places like Alabama, Georgia, Michigan, Florida, California, and Arizona. The game will be at the East Cobb Complex, the Top Chops East Cobb Complex. August the 8th, we will stream live on Perfect Game TV, the 11U Select Festival. And very recently, we went to the PG Invitational National Championship in anticipation of this roster reveal, and we got to know some of these great athletes. Here's what we're doing. We're gonna play some Pepper. Let's get to know these young, talented players.
I love baseball because it's fun to play, competitive, and it's fun.
It just makes me happy.
I don't know, I've just stuck with it since I was like 2 or 3.
I love baseball because I think it's fun and I enjoy just the competition. My favorite player is Fernando Tatis Jr.
Ronald Acuna.
Favorite player, probably Ketel Marte. Francisco Lindor.
My favorite player is Mike Trout. When I get in the box, I'm thinking like to hit the ball as far as you can.
If there's no one on, just get a base hit and then score.
I try not to think when I'm hitting. Next year, just to do it all over again, just win championships.
All right, a quick reminder, head to Perfect Game TV. You can find this show along with all sorts of incredible exclusive content, including conversations with future, current, and former big leaguers, live stream games from all over the country, and player rankings and data from the most respected scouts in the business. Find us at perfectgame.tv on your computer, stream us on your television, or download the mobile app. We want to thank all our guests and their families, Druw Jones and Justin Crawford and Michael Gupton, for all they taught us and shared with us about the game, the insights of the great writer and scout David Rawnsley. From Perfect Game's 2021 National Showcase, glad to have you with us. It has been an incredible gathering of the best players in the 2022 draft class. My name is Daron Sutton. This is the only show devoted to amateur baseball. This is Perfect Game Weekly, presented by Rawlings.